I'm coming to you from Salesianum School in Wilmington for our first person segment, or in this case, first persons. I'm joined today by our students JD Filippone, Coby Owens, and Pat Ryan. Thanks guys for sitting with me today.
Thank you so much for being here.
Now these students, you guys have produced a documentary on the football team here at Salesianum. And you have won, congratulations are in order, because you have won a Mid-Atlantic Emmy for the story. Tell me a little bit first off about what it's about.
It's about the linemen here at Salesianum, the linemen in general in football. I mean, they don't really get all the recognition in the papers or the MVP awards or anything like that. So we wanted to create a documentary showing like our feelings about it and like giving a little background about how we don't really receive that recognition.
Mm-hmm. Now, all of you are offensive linemen, I guess?
Yes.
So you speak from experience.
Yes, from experience.
You know, Coby, you talk about in the documentary how there's a history of linemen here at Salesianum. What is that history?
Well, the history is here at Salesianum, we run the ball a lot, and without a good line, we're not able to do that. So our offensive linemen, since our freshman year, we have come together, worked hard in the weight room to get stronger so that when it's our time to shine on the field and clear the trenches out for the running backs and for the quarterbacks, we can do it. And it's just something that's always been one of the top things here at Salesianum.
It's not a glory position, so why do you want to play in that position?
I think just to be a lineman, you know, it's more of like for yourself. Like you become like being a lineman, you know you're not going to be on the front of the paper or getting the interviews, but you know, you just feel good when you see someone score and you know they give you like a pat on the back or slap on the helmet, something, because you know they know like without us they wouldn't be scoring.
Now, you may not get that recognition in a sports sense, but you were recognized for the documentary you produced. How was it when they said your name at the ceremony?
It was amazing. It felt awesome because, I mean, it's the first ever Emmy for Salesianum, and it just shows that there are people out there that do understand the whole lineman situation, and that we went in feeling, you know, it's a national thing, so maybe we're not going to be up there with the rest of the sports category, but winning it just was a very big surprise, and we just felt amazing about it.
Was it sort of, you know how you always hear, oh, it's an honor to be nominated? Is that true?
Absolutely. I mean, I really wasn't even expecting to be nominated because, I mean, it's the whole Mid-Atlantic, so when we were even nominated, it was a big surprise, and to actually even win it was even bigger.
Now, there is a funny story, though, at the ceremony. Your name was sort of left off the list.
Yeah. Well, me and JD did like most of the editing for the video. So when we were there, they were announcing all the names of the videos, and they came to the Unsung Heroes, edited by JD Filippone and Coby Owens, and I was kind of taken off guard. And then next thing you know, and the winner is Unsung Heroes, JD, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, well, all right then, like I guess I didn't do anything.
Well, we're going to give you your due.
Yeah.
You did edit and produce, and you had a big part in the documentary. Yeah. Okay, well, right now we are going to take a minute just to watch some of your work.
Okay.
The thing about being a lineman is that, you know, it's the hard work. We don't get all the recognition, but, you know, we're the reason the team wins. Our hard work, dedication.
It feels great knowing that I have a strong backfield behind me. I mean, Scro is a really great athlete as quarterback, and having Troy or Andrew running, or Jimmy Andrews even blocking, it's great because when we open the holes for them, the fact that they're able to run through them that quick and get a touchdown, that just makes it so much better for the linemen. And that's what really makes the linemen really happy.
As a lineman, I mean, there's no real stats or anything to keep track, but when our backs or receivers score, it's rewarding for us because, I mean, we don't always get all the paper, the ink, but you know, it does feel good when we see someone score and they give us some credit.
I like being a lineman because I just like getting my helmet into people's chests, getting them out of my way.
The play starts with us and it ends with us ultimately, but the fact that we don't get recognition is kind of a big deal. It's kind of difficult in that situation, but other than that, it's pretty awesome.
I don't really recall the last time the lineman won an MVP award, so it's just there's really not a lot of credit that's given to the big boys up front. You know, when a play goes wrong, Coach McConaughey does a good job of letting us know what went wrong. And usually when something goes right, there's still something wrong. So there's always room for improvement. And you know, it's good in that sense because it just makes us better.
I'm only 5'10", 250. Some of the people I've gone up against been much taller than me, much bigger than me. But it's all about the motor. You got to just keep moving your feet. Don't let them stop you, and you drive them into the backfield.
You're coming off the ball, you're getting into them, you're stopping your feet, and then you're trying to start again.
To be a lineman at Salesianum is really something special because of the history that's behind all the linemen here. We have had some great linemen, and to be able to just step in to where they played, you know, it's just something really special.
What makes this line different from past years is that in past years, our line has had multiple strengths in different areas, whether it's one guy being like the strongest guy or one guy being the quickest guy. This year we have it overall, which is great because we all work together perfectly. So when our guards pull, we're able to block back and make that key block. Or when our guards pull and they come out and they block that outside guy, they're able to make that too, so our running backs are able to get through. Working together since our freshman year has been a real big key for us because we already clicked as freshmen and we did so well as freshmen that now we were able to bring it to the varsity level.
Sally's football is just different from any other kind of tradition in the state. I mean, from like the gold helmets to the walkover to Baynard. We just do everything kind of differently, and that's what makes us unique.
You know, lineman, we really can't get any stats like that, like rushing, receiving, but you know, it's all in your mind. You gotta just want to go out there and pancake someone each time. Want to go out there, put them on their butt, and yeah, that's it.
Let me get another line on three. Line on three.
1, 2, 3, hold on!
All right, so we just watched the clip of your documentary, The Unsung Heroes. How much work went into that? It looks pretty extensive.
There was a good amount of work that went into it. Lots of days coming after school. We worked on it because we have this class first period every day. So we'd work on it then and then usually have to come after school and actually miss some of our actual football practice to edit it.
To the dismay of your coach, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy one
Well,
of the
now
days.
joining the group is teacher of TV production, Ryan Salandria.
Shirley,
You're
how you
also
doing?
a Salesianum alumni?
Yes, I graduated from Salesianum in 2001. I got my start in the studio here. This is where I fell in love with television, and I'm just glad that I have the opportunity to pass that same love onto students like these three right here.
You know, when you saw their finished product, what were you thinking? And were you pleased with it?
I was very pleased with it, but at first I was still like, you know, I think there's more that we need to add to it. I really wish we could try to tie in some sort of like home life aspect as well, but I know that like we're coming up towards the end of the quarter. We need to get this in for your project grades and everything. But the same, like, it was done really well. The fact that I gave them a brief lecture on lighting, and the fact that they took it upon themselves to pull out the lights and really do a very nice job of lighting themselves up for the interviews. Like I saw they really put a lot of care into this project. They really wanted it to be something special.
Does Sally's enter something every year to the Mid-Atlantic Emmys?
Well, this is actually only our second year. Last year was our first year, and we only submitted one video. And I was so glad this year we went from submitting one video to submitting, I think we did 5 this year, 5 or 6. So just being able to jump from 1 to 5, I think when I said, guys, you can win awards, they really took up the challenge of saying, we can win awards, it's no problem. We can produce some really great material that we can showcase to the tri-state area, the whole Mid-Atlantic region, and say, we can do really great work.
You get the letter saying you're nominated, or however they communicated, and were you just shocked? Did you have a moment to let it sink in?
I knew it was going to be nominated because it was done so well. I'd say the really big moment of shock came when we won, because the schools, obviously this is our second year, and I've seen, like, I like to see what the other schools are doing. I see their work on YouTube and on the internet, and I was like, well, we're nominated, that's great, but now I want to win. And a lot of the schools in the tri-state area, they do just really phenomenal work. I mean, we do really great work, they do some great work too. So I mean, I knew going into this whole competition it was going to be very tight, and I was just like, okay, well, we got nominated, that's something we can be proud of, but if we win, then that's glorious.
There's a lot of aspects to television production that I don't know a lot of people at home would understand. You have to have enough video, you have to listen to all your interviews again and put in the sound, and you have to write it, and there's just a lot of elements. Did you find that you were unprepared for something, or did something come up that you weren't expecting at all in the editing process, or when you started piecing your story together?
No, I mean, coming to the end of the quarter, we pretty much had about a quarter of the football season done, so we had a lot of game footage there to use. And I mean, it did take a couple takes here and there for the interviews and just editing it together, like taking clips from here, I don't think it works there, that kind of thing. But I mean, overall, it really wasn't that challenging to get the stuff, but I mean, coming to the editing part, it was a challenge at some points.
Do you want to pursue careers in television or TV sports or anything like that?
I mean, for me, I don't know, speaking to these guys, I will be minoring in it in college, so I'm hoping that there will be a career for me down the road.
Okay.
I personally have a good interest in some in the TV world, whether it's like doing like camera work or like editing. I have a good foot in the door working with NBC Sports for a couple of games, so I'm pretty interested in the TV world.
Coby?
Maybe just like freelance sports. I love doing sports highlights, so that's my like little niche, and that's all.
Okay. And tell me about the other student that was nominated.
The other student who was nominated was Brendan Christie. He's another one of my seniors. Last year, he actually came, he wasn't nominated last year, but he came with us to see like what the other schools were doing. And he did a video on one of our students named Andre Domingue, who came down with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And he organized his family, his Boy Scout troop, and I think about 20 to 25 students from Salesianum for a river walk down at the Wilmington waterfront over there, I guess. And Brendan, I said, Brendan, I think this would be a great project for you to do because he's going to Hofstra for broadcast journalism. And I really want to make sure that when these guys go off to college, they're as prepared as possible because I want to make sure that they're successful, okay? Just not because, I can say I'm responsible for these guys, but also, it makes me feel good to know that my students go on and be very successful people, whether it's in TV, business, or whatever else they do. I take a lot of pride in knowing that they're going to be successful, and I want to make sure that they're prepared for that.
I would say an Emmy win means you are doing something right.